So as one of the benefits of my Founders Club, I get tickets to the away game. So Miss Walker and I was talking about away games. She goes to away games as well. She's a fan, I'm a fan, so I was letting her know, yeah, I get 2 free tickets because I own 2 seats, and we could certainly go to the games. We chose the LA game and the Seattle game. And so we just agreed that we would share the hotel and we would get our flights.
So let me bring you in, Ms. Walker. The dates and the breakdown of the costs of the travel, hotel, all those things. Did she give you the breakdown of what you'd be paying before you guys actually took the trip?
Right.
So you agreed to the costs?
I agreed to the cost.
So you go to LA, and I believe that you put the hotel on your credit card?
When we made the arrangement, she was supposed to put my half for the airfare on my card when we was making the reservation over the phone. She said it wouldn't let her do that. And I said, well, okay, since you did, I will pay for the hotel when we get to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. It still left me a balance of $3-something for
well, we're gonna get into the math. I wanted to make sure that you had an understanding of what the costs were going to be in LA and in Seattle.
Yeah, but when we got to Los Angeles, I paid, but I gave her a copy of the invoice from the hotel.
Just to kind of prove to her what the total was, and this is what you owe me.
That's the only thing I was asking for, is an invoice.
Okay, Ms. Watts?
So let me clarify. So when making the reservations with American Express Travel, I did that online. Of course, you have to pay when you're online, and you have to pay the airline. I sent Ms. Walker copies of the American Express Travel information, which is in this packet. American Express charges your card. So when you arrive at the hotel, your hotel is already paid for. And the only thing that you do at that point is give a credit card for incidentals. Fortunately for me and Ms. Walker, when we got to the LA Marriott, American Express had not charged the card. So we were able to allow her to use her Visa card, I can't remember which, to go ahead and just make that payment for our stay in LA.
Advance. She made the payment at check-in, is what you're saying?
Yes, because it had not been paid.
And you're shaking your head no?
On checking out, not checking in. When we checked out, I paid. And I gave her a copy of the invoice.
What happened in Seattle? Why was there such an issue with the hotel costs?
I didn't get an invoice from the hotel.
I'm sorry?
I didn't get an invoice from the hotel saying exactly what we owe.
Was that something that you informed the plaintiff of, that you would need that before giving her any money? Did you not trust that she was telling you what the costs were?
No.
Okay.
I've never done that before. I've traveled with a lot of people, and we always gave each other a copy of the invoice.
Ms. Watts, you mentioned that there was some issue with the hotel bill and that the defendant became difficult because she had some friends staying at the same hotel, they were getting a better rate, and that's when issues started to brew up in terms of why are we paying this and they're paying that, is that right?
That's correct. When we checked in, they made it clear that the hotel payment had already been made by American Express Travel. Mm-hmm. And so Ms. Walker had invited some friends of hers to stay at the same hotel, and they found a cheaper rate. So we were talking to the representatives at the desk, and the rates that they could control the rates that we had already paid through American Express Travel.
At checkout, were you given a receipt?
It was a receipt, but it was only for those incidentals we spent. It was not for the hotel cost at all.
You say the hotel bill was $835.
It was $1,669 and some change, and we split it, so it was like $834.98.
So, Ms. Walker, you said you wanted to see what the rate was per night. Could you just not take the total and divide it by 4 nights? That's how long y'all
Exactly. I don't have an invoice from American Express. They was giving us $25 a day. I didn't get any of that. So I don't know what all was going on. There was too many things going on that she did not share because she never shared with me that she had paid from the beginning. We agreed that I would pay my half when we get to the hotel. That was the agreement.